Hello everybody, it's Monstertaming coming at you with another Kindred video. This time we're going to be doing a team breakdown, talking about why I use a certain team. This is recommended by Mr. Ways from my Discord server. You can find a link to my Discord in the description below. If you want, you can go in there and leave video ideas like this one that I can pursue in the future. But without further ado, let's get right to it. This team is, as the name suggests, my main team. This is the team that I run all the time whenever I want to get serious or just, you know, have the most fun or do whatever. Like if this is my default team, if somebody told me that I was going to be playing in a tournament and I could only pick one team, this would be the team I would pick. Now the philosophy behind this team, we have Ember. You can see has essentially all of his fire abilities. Scorch, Fire Spin, Explosion, Fireball, and Fire Burst. Ember with Fireball and Fire Burst. He's here so he can help with ranged combat with these two abilities. Fire Spin and Scorch are for crowd control, and Explosion is for a big burst of DPS. Now that's important because Ember is basically the only burst of damage we have on the team. So that's maybe Righteous Light, but we'll get that in a minute. He has Peach because that I expect him to be trading a lot, and I want him to be as tanky as he can be. He doesn't really have the maneuverability to make something like rations work well. Move on to Lumala. Lumala's passive, as you can see here, Soothing Aura. It cures conditions sent out after it. So that means Lumala is rarely going to be on the field for long. Lumala's abilities reflect that. Light Burst is just so I have something to hit people at range with, even though the damage is like horrible, but it's, you know, better than literally nothing. Angelic Ray is the main reason Lumala exists on this team. As you can see, it calls down target location for 8 seconds that damages enemies and heals allies. Normally what I do with Lumala is I'll switch to Lumala, wait until it's about like Lumala's off cooldown, and then place this down and switch to someone else, curing them of status effect and healing them a little bit. Now Homing Blast is there to help just ping off enemies who are low health or get some chip damage on people and maybe help the fights against Avion. Rush is to help get away from people while I wait for the cooldowns to be off for like Angelic Ray and swapping. Righteous Light is a last ditch effort ability. It has two roles, either a really long range sniper shot that I just take while I'm waiting for cooldowns, maybe try to help pressure the enemy to keep them away, not really expecting to do damage, or if Lumala is like the last kinfolk, it's going to be essentially the only chance I have to kill them because the Lumala's other abilities are so low damage that Righteous Light is pretty much the only thing I can really use to really finish off a annoying kinfolk like Kadoki or something. Xanthodote is on here because Lumala cannot cure their own status effects, and I feel like Skulkin is by far the most danger to Lumala with this build because they can chase Lumala down. Skulkin, you can see passive, Intimidation. Oh, I didn't show you Ember's passive, Spirit of Fire. This doesn't really come in play that often, but it's there. Intimidation. Manages combat, lowers the physical attack while hostile kinfolk by 1 stage for 30 seconds. That really helps Skulkin be a little bit more survivable because Skulkin is kind of squishy. Rations with Teleport is why I have Rations, because Skulkin, despite how squishy Skulkin is, can be extremely difficult to kill if you have a Teleport and a Rations on, because I think Rations text is wrong. Yeah, it's restore 5 health every 10 seconds, not 5 seconds. 5 health every 10 seconds, I'm pretty sure. That got changed a long time ago, but let's change back. Anyways, Teleport is a good way to get distance between you, and you can kite on essentially every map besides Forest, and it can help Skulkin be a really bad nuisance. Startle is just absolutely amazing. It can make even Lumala have a chance against somebody if you apply enough startles to them. It just softens them up for everyone else. I like to use Teleport and Startle and teleport behind walls, pop Startle through the wall while they're coming at you. Caustic Cloud and startling through the Caustic Cloud's another good one. And then Homing Shot and Dark Volley are both just DPS. I could be convinced to maybe take Dark Volley off, but it's just good to have ranged options. And Homing Shot is really great finisher when they've been hit with Startle a lot of times. Caustic Cloud is wonderful crowd control. Chase them off of almost any location, block off many choke points, and if they actually get poisoned, then that's wonderful because they're going to die pretty fast, and the damage for Caustic Cloud is also great. Even if they have something like Chrysantidote, it just still does a lot of damage. Now for Shovelet. Shovelet's passive Survivor. It does require a lot of playing around. It's probably the most important passive besides Lumalis on the team. Like if you know your Shovelet is in trouble, you can swap out and then swap back, and then make your Shovelet more or less invincible if you do it right. But it's really hard to judge the right time to use that in the middle of combat, but I'm trying to get better at that. The reason he has Coffee Bean is because rest. Rest is like absolute requirement for me because the Shovelet is amazing when it comes to actually being able to stay alive. Like if you have any map besides forest, and even sometimes on forest, you can pop rest and it literally heals you for almost as much, well, literally as much as Peach. It's like a reusable Peach. Absolutely wonderful. And also Coffee Bean helps fight Kadokis, because a lot of times you'll be getting close to a Kadoki. Like if you put Quicksand and then Earth Swipes on a Kadoki, then they might try to be sneaky with you and actually try to put you to sleep, and then they waste their sleep, and yada yada yada. And then also digging up onto a Kadoki to try to stun them. So Coffee Bean is just the master item for Shovelet in my opinion. Dig is wonderful for if you can hit it, it can set up combos, but more often than not, you're going to use it for disengagement. You can use it to dodge attacks and to disengage your enemy. Now, why this is important is because that while Shovelet is very tanky, it's not invincible, and sometimes dodge just won't suffice. So you can dig, you can run away, go through a wall on ruins or something, and you'll be fine if you have dig. Quicksand. Wonderful crowd control. It can catch really annoying kinfolk like Kadoki who are hard to hit otherwise. Catch them, do some chip damage to them, and it will take a while, but you can whittle down essentially anyone using Quicksand. And Rock Slide is kind of like a dice throw, where it can do essentially nothing if they just shield through it or run out of it fast enough. It's usually not going to do a lot of damage, but when it does do a lot of damage, then you're absolutely love to see it, and that slow can be really helpful because all it takes is one hit to slow it, even if it only does a tiny bit of damage. The main thing that's useful against is kinfolk, particularly like Slifer, who loves to bounce around, pilfer, and all that stuff, and they'll often just run right into it. If you bounce through Rock Slide, you're basically dead. And you can hit Avion with it, but it's really difficult to actually hit with that. And overall, that is how I built this team. That's why I like this team. And you guys have seen me play, at this point, I believe, hundreds of games with this team. And yeah, if you have any questions about the team or any suggestions for a team you'd like to see me try, please leave them in the comments below. But until next time, this is Monstertaming Bisloba, signing off. Hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye, God bless, and see you all next time. Bye-bye.